It's Margarita, and today I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew before I started my fragrance collection. Oh my goodness, if I could go back and whisper in my own ear before I bought my first bottle, I would be like, girl, slow down. There is something to be said about starting a fragrance collection, and there's even more to be said about doing it with intention. So I'm going to talk about some of the lessons that I learned, and hopefully I can stop some of you from making some of the same mistakes and falling into some of the pitfalls that I hit while making my fragrance collection and curating it and just going along this journey of scents. So lesson number one, a cluttered shelf does not equal a curated life. What I've learned, number one, is quality over quantity. I went down this rabbit hole and I bought some stuff and I'm like, ooh, first thing I was thinking is, oh, I see all these reviewers online. I need to have a big collection like them. Let me get this one. Let me get this one. I was blind buying left and right. I was spending obscene amounts of money. If I told you how much I spent on fragrances, you'll be like, girl, go get your head checked. I have spent so much on fragrances that I hate to say it. Honestly, could probably have bought a car or even a small house. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that as a lesson that it's really easy to get sucked in and, get caught into the FOMO, to be over influenced, to allow shopping addiction to take over. There's a lot of factors at play when a person starts a collection, especially if you have addictive behaviors. But with fragrances, it's easy to do the same. Keep in mind that ingesting substances is not the only form of addiction. Collecting, hoarding, doing things without a clear plan in mind are also forms of addictive behaviors that do need to be regulated. So please keep in mind before you buy anything, make sure it's something that you really, really want and also have a use for. There's nothing worse, and I'm speaking to myself right now, than having a bunch of stuff that you don't use. Oh my goodness. This past year, I've been on a no-buy. I just broke my no-buy a few weeks ago. And it was honestly out of retail therapy because I lost my dad and shopping was our thing. And I'm like, well, I've been a good girl this year. I didn't really buy anything. So, cool. I kind of justified it a bit, but I got hubby's permission first. He really keeps me in line to make sure that I don't overspend, because it's really easy to do that and get caught up in all the fanfare, especially if you're a shopaholic like me. But that said, a couple of years ago, when I started my channel, if you look at some of my old videos, you may see a display that was top to bottom fragrances. And the thing was, I was all about quantity. Yeah, I got this big collection and I've got more perfumes than this person. So that must mean that I'm a better reviewer, or I'm an authority in establishing myself because I have so much. What I have learned over these past couple years is that you can be an authority enough to be able to tell yourself, don't need it. So what happens is you learn to refine your palate. And so with the quantity over quality, what I've learned is less is more. I have pared my collection down so much where my collection is extremely small, especially compared to people who review fragrances or even people who are collectors of fragrance. It's still large for maybe the average person who's not into fragrance, but small for someone in my profession. And I am so much happier with a smaller collection. You don't get analysis paralysis as much. If you know about that, people can, there's a such thing as too many choices. And then it just makes you not want to choose anything. And then you feel overwhelmed and it spills over into other lives and actually can lead to little signs of depression. So, and who wants that? Fragrance is a pick-me-up. It's something that's supposed to make us feel happy and feel good. And I wasn't feeling good. Like I had all these things I thought was going to make me happy, all these perfumes and fragrances, and I wasn't happy with them. I'm like, I bought it because the bottle was pretty. I bought it because this person said it was good. And then I got it and it was just like, ew, gross, doesn't match my chemistry. I would never wear that. So I had all these bottles that I didn't like. So I just did massive declutters. And a lot of times that entails taking a loss financially, because you got to sell them for cheaper than what they can find them for online, or maybe in other in-person swaps. So you lose. And goodness, God forbid you put fragrances on a credit card. So now you're paying interest on an item that you don't even like. No bueno. Please don't do that. So I would say make sure that you are picking quality over quantity. Number two thing I learned Know your scent persona. As you all know, I have coined myself the gourmand queen because I love gourmand fragrances. So if you do not know which fragrance family you like, please don't just go buying up a bunch of stuff. Go to the stores and test out a few things from fragrance families. Now, here's my caveat. What I've learned is a lot of the sales associates in stores have no clue themselves the difference between a gourmand and a citrus and a fougere and so on. So you might have to use some of your own judgment. But what I've learned is I like to smell like a snack. Let me know in the comments if you're one of those people. Another thing I learned is that I do not like spicy fragrances. And people talk about, oh, this is great for date night and this is a grown woman sexy fragrance. And I smell some of this stuff and it smelled like mop water. I'm like, ew, who would like this? But on me, my chemistry favors gourmand. Your chemistry may not, or your nose may not. Some people get a headache from too much gourmand. And this is good to know. So that way you know which ones to gravitate toward and which ones to steer clear. So know your fragrance persona. Lesson number 3, sample strategically. Do not blind buy anything if you can help it. If you have access to get a decant first, or to get access to a sample, or if you have a store near you that has this product, please go sample it first before buying a full bottle, especially if it's a fragrance that's more expensive. You know, if it's something that's maybe 20, 30 bucks on Amazon, fine, order that. And honestly, a lot of the cheaper ones smell better than the expensive ones. Let me know in the comments if you've had that same experience. But if it's something that costs a pretty penny, for example, I have an affinity for niche fragrances. I like fragrances that you can't really find in stores because, again, I do not like to smell like everybody else. I like things that are harder to come by so that I can smell more unique. Also, the bottles tend to be prettier. I'm superficial like that. I like my display to be pretty, but also if you watch my Abundance series, there's an effect, on the subconscious mind when you reach for something and know that it's luxurious and know that it's high quality. It has an effect on how you interact with it and how you carry out your day. So there's a psychology to my fragrance collecting now, not at first. So sample strategically. If you can get a sample of something, do that. In fact, that's why I offer my collection online for sampling. I'll decant something I have for you at whistlenotes.com. So that way, if I can keep you from having a full bottle if you end up not liking it, or encourage you to get the bottle if you do like it. But at least you are going into the purchase with knowledge versus apprehension. Number 4, fragrance is a ritual. Everything we do has to be done with intention. Otherwise, we live in chaos. For me, as of late and as of now, because again, I'm going back to my former self, baby me, as in the perfume world, it wasn't intentional, and it was more visual. It was more aesthetic. Fragrance is an experience, and the effect that scent has on the brain, particularly the limbic system, and I talk about that in other videos. Feel free to look at my my manifestation series to get more information about that. There is a psychological connection between scent and your mood and how you take action on things. So now I actually fragrance myself. I scent myself with intention. I have my fragrances categorized into 3 sections. The section behind me, well, to my left, probably your right on the screen, is actually my fragrances that I wear for fitness, because I'm a fitness enthusiast. I'm a master trainer, and there are certain scents that make your workouts more optimized. Be on the lookout for a video about that, about activities and which scents to wear to make those activities more effective. On this side, I call this my superstar collection because I am also a musician. I got new music out. Feel free to check that out on my other page, which is linked in the bio on YouTube. But these are my superstar fragrances. These are ones that actually help me fall into the persona of a performer. And then what's not on camera, I have another section in this room that is my CEO collection. And those are scents that actually are more authority commanding, more, I would say, more grown up, more professional, because I am a corporate executive for a major company. And so that said, there are certain fragrances that I do not wear to work and some that I do, because of the effect they have on my clients and the effect they have on my counterparts. So you want to make sure that you're not wearing some $5 body splash to a board meeting, because people who know are gonna know, and they're going to think that you don't have enough consideration for this big thing to even show up properly. So scent is how you show up. You know, people smell you before they see you. And that could either be good or bad. I'm sure we've all had an experience with somebody like that. So you want to make sure that the effects you have not only on your own brain and your own subconscious and your own experience, but also the effects you have on others, because we need each other in any minute thing. Even if a person can't pinpoint it on a conscious level, they will definitely sense it on the subconscious level, and it affects how people respond or react. And those are two different things. Let me know if you want me to do a video on that as well. So those are 4 lessons that I truly wish I had learned sooner, but at least I know them now and I'm sharing them with you. But let me know in the comments, did you find this video helpful? Would you like me to do more videos like this, more deep dives, more of the whys and the hows and not just the whats and the wheres? Because this is something that's really resonating with me, and I love to talk about the psychology of scent. There is so much to perfume, and so many people think it's just a fly-by-night thing, or it's just some little topical thing, and it's not. There is a whole world and a whole effect that fragrance can have, and it truly does affect our everyday lives. Also, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, share this video with anyone and everyone. And until next time, I am Margarita, and you have an awesome day. Bye.